player lock is a game-changer attacking trick in FC24. It's one of the most effective ways to break the opponent's defense consistently. Visit u7buy.com and get some cheap, safe, and reliable FC coins. You have to build a strong squad to manage the competition. Use the discount code DRFC for 6% off, link in the description. A lot of players don't use the player lock because they think it's something difficult, but that's not true. Player lock is very easy to use in any situation. You just need to follow the way I'm going to explain it. To perform the player lock, you simply push both analogs inside to activate it, and the triangle icon will change to diamond. Then at this moment, you can decide to select another player to control by flicking the right analog towards that player, which means this player with the ball is controlled by the AI, and you're controlling the player with the diamond icon. So here you can request any pass type you want. We shall have a dedicated video about the player lock. We have many different ways of using player lock in this game, but what I have realized is that using aerial passing on player lock is overpowered. For example, taking corner kicks. This player lock corner technique is very overpowered in FC24 because of some sort of a glitch. When you use the player lock, your player tend to jump higher than the opponent's defender, and many times he will win the aerial battle against the opponent's players. So when you receive a corner kick, you immediately spam the R1 button. What this does, it sets up two players in your corner setup. But even if you fail to react quick enough to call that player, you can still press R1 and another player comes short and join the setup. After you pass the ball to that player, then make a bait. Control the ball towards the byline just to convince your opponent that you're driving inside the box. Then if the opponent reacts to that and follows your player, then pass back to this player who is running towards the edge of the box. Position him diagonally first and activate the player lock. Here he's in a position to keep the ball safe. When you activate the player lock, switch away from this player, keep on switching up to any player at the far post, then lastly press square button to release the ball, and the rest is for you to aim perfectly and score this easy goal. We have some smart opponents who anticipates this corner kick trick, due to the old way of just passing the ball to this player moving towards the edge of the box and cross, aiming for the far post and score. This trick is common and many players are aware of it. When you try to pull that trick mini with focus on this player. So here you can also dribble towards the byline. Activate the player lock and follow the same process. Here you will score plenty of free goals in FC24. Another game-changer trick is the Lob Through Pass. This passing technique is so overpowered to the extent of being abused by pro players. This pass is very accurate and precise, especially when you have players with long ball play styles. I'm not saying that other players without that playstyle can't. They can also pass the ball like this. But if you need that accuracy and consistency, get players with long ball play style and most especially midfielders. As you see, most of my Lob Through passes come from midfield, because that's the main trick of this passing technique. To perform this pass, you press both the L1 or LB plus triangle or Y, aiming the left analog towards that player you want to pass the ball to. But to be able to use this pass, you need that ball receiver to be moving or running forward. To do this, you simply use two techniques. 1. The pass and move. You press both L1 plus X, and your player will pass the ball and run forward. Second, the L1 trigger. You aim the left analog towards the player you want to send forward, then tap on L1. As simple as that, he will run forward. So when that player is running forward, you wait for that player to complete his run. In way that is about to reach the opponent's last man of the defense, aim towards that player and load up the power. It depends on the distance. For example, here I'm using almost full power. This pass tend to glitch the opponent's defenders, whereby sometimes it seems like they are about to intercept the ball, but surprisingly they make some errors, and your player takes the ball like that. This is the easiest way to build up right now in FC24 because you just use one pass and get forward very easily. We have another way to make this pass very effective, using the first time touch. So here you send that player forward using any trick, but instead of passing the ball to this running player using this very player with the ball, you pass the ball towards any nearest player in a position where he's not facing immediate pressure. This draws away the opponent's attention from this player. Then don't control the ball, pass it first time, and get in behind to score this beautiful creative goal. Nutmeg Flare Pass is dominating the competitive scene of FC24. It's one of the most overpowered skill pass in the game. This pass comes from the Nutmeg Flare skill move, a 4-star rated move, which means you can perform this pass using 4-star rated players. To perform this pass, you hold both the L1 plus R1 or LB plus RB, then hold the right analog to the left or right of your player. Here your player will perform the skill move instead. So to perform the pass, when your player begins the skill move animation, that's the moment you press the pass button, either the short pass or the long pass according to the type of the pass you need. To use this pass effectively, you have to make a bait, and most especially in and around the opponent's box. This is how I tend to trick opponent and use this pass. Sometimes when I have that passing option, I don't directly pass to that player because the opponent can read it and intercept the pass. So I first take a touch forward. Here I want my opponent to react to that touch and move his defender, and that's the moment I use the Nutmeg flare pass, get the ball to my player and create something. This pass is overpowered because the animation is fast. Your player alternates the ball using both feet. Another reason is that tight space effect. This pass can be used in tight spaces to open up passing angles. So implement this pass into your gameplay and it will make you a better player. Another one is the ball roll scoop turn. This is more of an advanced skill move on the game. It's a combination of two skill move, the ball roll and the scoop turn. To use this skill move, you need 5-star rated players and also some good connection if you play online modes like Ultimate Team. To perform this skill, you hold the right analog to any direction you want your player to perform the ball roll. Then that moment when your player is rolling the ball, you perform the fake shot where you press circle, then immediately tap X. To master the ball roll scoop turn, put this into your mind. Number 1, angle of the ball roll matters a lot before performing the fake shot, which is the scoop turn in this combination. The angle of the ball roll has to be opposite to the angle of the scoop turn. For example here, if I want to perform the ball roll scoop turn, like moving forward. So here I have to perform the ball roll 90 degrees to this direction, and performing the scoop turn to complete the combo, I have to hold the left analog in the opposite direction. And that's why sometimes you perform the skill move, and your player instead performs two different skill moves. Another tip is to practice this skill move a lot. Even me now, I can use it very well in the match, but still I get some time and practice it. This skill moves needs that fast finger coordination, so you have to train your finger coordination a lot. The reason why it's so effective, that ball protection and quick change of direction. This skill move, your player first protect the ball by performing the ball roll, hence low risks of losing the ball. Then that quick change of direction. This makes it a very good skill move combo to beat defenders. I love using this skill move during running scenarios, especially if the opponent is over-committing with his defender. The defender will have no balance to react to that quick change of direction. It's one of the best skill move you can perform immediately when sprinting and create something out of it. The Lob Pass is overpowered, especially when attacking from the wide areas, and here's the way you can use it and create a chance. To pull out this pass, you just simply press square on your controller. Your player will pass a short pass, but instead the ball flies towards your player. There are some times when attempt to use the ground pass, there are many chances of the ball being intercepted. So to reduce on the risks, I use the Lob Pass because it's very difficult to intercept. As I told you, I like using this pass when cutting inside from the wing. Here, many opponents don't expect this pass, that if they press this ball holder and apply pressure tightly, it's difficult to pass the ball. But here, if you see any of your player running towards the byline, you can use the Lob Pass, get the ball to that free player inside the box and open up your way to create a chance. For example, here I pass the ball to my fullback Ashley Cole, and I sprint down the wing trying to avoid that angle the opponent can tackle my player from. I see my striker running towards this space heading to the byline, but the opponent is pressing my fullback tightly, making the angle for a ground pass being too risky. So I decide to perform the ball roll and use the Lob Pass. As simple as that, I managed to break the opponent's defense, but I ended up wasting my chance. Controlled sprint has dominated FC24 from the start of the game up to now. It's really powerful when creating chances in the final third and also building up. To perform the controlled, if you don't know by now, simply just hold R1 or RB. Then move the left analog and your player will dribble the ball controlled, in a way that he keeps a close control, but also with some speed to leave the opponent's defender behind. I like using the controlled sprint in 4 ways. One is to just drive into the opponent's box and exploit the space and score or create something. Sometimes when you have that passing option, the opponent can read it and try to cut that passing lane. So here instead you dribble inside the box using the controlled sprint and surprise the opponent. This trick is powerful even against good opponents, because it's a mind game trick. The second way is also inside the box but in tight space. Here you use the controlled sprint to beat that defender. Here some opponents use the speed jockey and overcommit, and also others take too long to switch their defenders. So you use the controlled sprint and dribble around that defender and score. Another way is to drive towards the byline. Here, when looking for that cutback pass, you can dribble with speed and control. After getting into that position, you release the button and dribble normally. Last way is to dribble the opponent's fullback using the controlled sprint. Some opponents are too aggressive, so you dribble diagonally around that fullback and get in behind. Shot cancel at the beginning of FC24 was so overpowered and effective, but then they made some updates and it was reduced its effectiveness and consistency, but now it's back. Super effective. To perform shot cancel, you need to first power up your shot. Then after you immediately press both the L2 plus R2 or LT plus RT, your player will perform the shot cancel. The animation will trick that goalkeeper to dive, leaving the empty net for you. To consistently and efficiently use the shot cancel one-on-one, position your player diagonally and beat that goalkeeper. Here it's better because you're in position, you're safe to keep the ball away from the opponent's defenders and also the goalkeeper. Shot cancel is good because it's easy to perform, and also it can be performed by all players on the pitch, which means it's cheap but very effective. Learning how to time your shots will massively improve your gameplay, compared to a normal shot where you have a success rate of 60% chances of scoring that goal. Timing your shots will increase the chances to 98% of getting that ball into the back of the net. You just need to press the shot button 2 times. The first is to power up, and when your player is about to hit the ball, that's when you press the shot button for the second time to time it. And to understand whether have timed perfectly, the icon on your player will light green. Timing that shot increases power and accuracy of the ball, making it very difficult for the goalkeeper to save. The name of the pass is the German cross. This pass is directed from a long distance towards your player inside the box, and this makes it the only pass you can use to create chances while building up. As you see here, just one pass can break the opponent's overcrowded defense and put you in a position to create a goal-scoring opportunity. To perform the German cross, just follow these simple, easy steps. Number 1, sending the ball receiver forward. You have to send the player who will receive the ball forward into the opponent's final third. We have 2 ways to do that. The first is to use the pass and move trick. Call it the give and go. Here you press both the passing button, X or A, plus L1 or LB such that your player, after releasing the ball, he will move forward. Second way is to use the L1 trigger, where you aim the left analog towards the player you want to send forward. Then you immediately tap on L1 or LB, and as expected, that player will run forward. Step number 2 is to choose the player to send forward. I usually send tall and strong players. Why? These players can easily glitch and receive the ball. I'm not saying that short, small players can't work in this situation. They can, but I recommend using tall, big players, like midfielders and center backs, even strong strikers. Next step is to wait for that player to complete his run. Wait until that player is about to reach the opponent's last man of the defense line. During the time of waiting this player to run forward, you have to protect the ball. Position your player in a way that he can protect the ball and also open to release the ball. That's why I like to position my player diagonally facing away from the pitch. Here he can keep the ball away from the opponent's defender, and also in an open angle to release a perfect pass. Next step is to release the pass. Press and hold square button to about 3 to 4 bars of power. The power is more important here. At the same time, aiming the left analog towards that running player. And the rest is to wait for that magic to happen. And that's the German cross. But you can make this pass more accurate and dangerous. Just perform the ball roll and pass. This is super effective to release a perfect ball towards your player. So after protecting the ball in a diagonal angle, you can perform the ball roll and at least position your player in a more open angle to pass. The reason why the German cross is effective is that surprise effect. Only good experienced players can see this pass coming. And even though you see it coming, still it takes high defense skills to defend this move, where you have to use the right stick analog accurately and select the right defender to defend this pass. Quickly on this example, here I try to drive towards the byline, but the opponent defends very well in this situation. So I turn back and pass the ball to my fullback. I see my midfielder standing idle as the opponent tries to cut that passing lane. I send that midfielder forward using the L1 trigger. As that midfielder is running forward, here my ball holder is open to tackles if the opponent switches this player. So I position my player diagonally using the controlled sprint. I aim towards this running midfielder and release the ball. Get in the box, take an extra pass and another one-touch pass. I use the game direction concept and turn into the space and score. If you don't know what game direction concept means, check that video in the description. Another one is the reverse Elastico. If you want some show-off but effective skills, this skill move is for you. It's a 5-star rated move, performed by only 5-star skillers. To perform this skill move, you roll the right analog stick from the non-dominant foot of your player through his opposite direction to his dominant foot. For example, here George Best is a right-footed player. If I want to perform the reverse Elastico, I roll the right analog from his non-dominant foot, which is left, through his opposite direction to his dominant foot, which is right, and that's it. He performs the reverse Elastico. This skill is effective because of that quick change of direction. When your player performs it, he quickly busts away, changing direction fast, giving no chance for that defender to react. I like using this skill move most especially in the opponent's final third. Inside the box, here I just want that quick change of direction and leave the opponent's defender behind. If you want to perform this skill move effectively, use these 2 tips. Number 1, try sometimes to position this ball holder diagonally towards the opponent's goal. This is to make sure that after your player performing the skill move, he will face the opponent's goal, leading you to a position where you can shoot and score. Next tip is to use the stand still version of the skill move, where you first press L1 to make your player stand still, then perform the skill move. Sometimes it's more effective than the normal way. Stepovers is the meta of the game, especially if you play the new generation game version. This is the most effective and used skill move on the game, second to ball roll. It's a 2-star rated move. Every player on the pitch can perform it, except goalkeepers. So far on my side, this is the best skill move in FC24. To perform the Stepovers, you simply flick the right analog forward to any direction your player is facing. Then without releasing the analog, you roll it to left or right of your player, as simple as that. The exit, it's up to you which direction you want your player to exit to. You just hold the left analog towards the direction you want your player to exit to. If you want your player to exit 90 degrees, you hold the left analog 90 degrees. If you want him to exit 60 degrees, you hold the analog 60 degrees. And if you want no exit direction, you just hold the analog forward. This skill move has that speed boost exit effect, whereby as the defender, if you take long time to react, you will be punished. Stepovers can be used in almost every situation and every place around the pitch. It's one of the game-changer skill moves on the game to improve your gameplay. This skill move is best for creating chances in the opponent's final third because it's versatile. It can be used in any situation to break the opponent's defense. I think those are my top 5 skill moves in FC24. You don't need to master every single skill move in the game. Just put your focus on the few but effective ones. Low-driven shots is the powerful way to score abrupt one-on-one scenario. Why am I saying abrupt? Because sometimes you create a chance and instantly get into that immediate one-on-one against the opponent's goalkeeper. Here, using the driven shot is the powerful way to score during those situations. Low-driven shot, you simply just tap the shot button. The power should not exceed 1 bar. Driven shots works well when you're close to the opponent's goalkeeper, as the goalkeepers are programmed to react on powerful shots. The driven shot catches the goalkeeper off guard. So guys, that's it for today. Hit that like button and like the video if you enjoyed, and we see each other in the next one. Take care.